Welcome to Army Controller Training Module. Inspired by Shri Sanjeev Mittal, IDAS, Controller General of Defence Accounts. Lyrics by Shri Sanjeev Kumar, IDAS, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India. Presented by Principal Controller of Defence Accounts, Southwestern Command Army, Jaipur. Conception and patronage by Shri Saroj Kumar, IDAS, Principal Controller of Defence Accounts, Southwestern Command Army, Jaipur. Chief Mentor and Reviewer Shri Himanshu Shankar, IDAS, Integrated Financial Advisor, Southwestern Command Army, Jaipur. Directed by Dr. Bhuvnesh Kumar Verma, IDAS, Joint Controller of Defence Accounts. Assistant Directors Shri Abhishek Sharma, IDAS, Shri Sushil Riyad, IDAS, Shri Mohan Lal Meena, IDAS, and Shri DK Oza, IDAS. Defence Accounts Department comes under the Ministry of Defence with the Controller General of Defence Accounts as its head. It is one of the oldest central government departments functioning for more than 270 years. The duties of Defence Accounts Department are broadly audit, payment, accounting and financial advice to armed forces, ordnance factories, border roads, DRDO, Coast Guard, etc. The department is also responsible for making payment of pension to retired armed forces personnel, including defence civilians. The quality policy is: the Defence Accounts Department is committed to render efficient, correct and prompt accounting, payment and financial services leading to customer satisfaction. It is also committed to render efficient audit services to ensure public accountability. The mission statement of our department is: we strive to achieve excellence and professionalism in accounting and financial services and in performing audit functions.
Minimum government, maximum governance is the present government's commitment, and being part of the administration, we are mandated to fulfill this commitment. As Defence Accounts Department, we are expected to provide effective financial advice, internal audit and efficient accounting services to Ministry of Defence and its organizations, including the three services. To achieve this, we require a clear sense of responsibility at all levels, integration of the existing work procedures with a dynamically changing work environment by constantly adapting to new challenges quickly in a professional manner. For this, we have to strengthen our workforce with the required knowledge and expertise through suitably devised training programs. In this direction, I congratulate Shri Saroj Kumar, Principal Controller of Defence Accounts, Southwestern Command, for conceptualizing and creating the training module for the Army Controllers for meeting the departmental training requirements. Such effort is all the more commendable since it has been undertaken during the period of COVID-19 pandemic related national lockdown and its related restrictions on office functioning and travel. I have assessed these modules and it is my opinion that the contents of each video tutorial are adequate for providing in-depth knowledge about the subject as also its practical aspects through examples and case studies. I hope this Army Controller Training module will become a milestone in imparting departmental training online and shall further motivate other controllers to develop similar video tutorials on other topics as envisaged in the DAD Training and Development Policies 2019. Moreover, development of e-learning modules is the need of the hour for training of our officers and staff. Once again, I feel great pleasure in conveying my best wishes to all the officers and staff involved for contributing to the development of these training modules in a comprehensive and effective manner, especially in view of the fact that the entire exercise was carried out by officers and staff members of Principal CDA South Western Command. I hope to see more of such innovative developments in future for enhancing the training functions of our department. I would like to end with these few lines from Shri Amit Arjun Bhardwaj, a motivational expert. कुछ करना है तो डटकर चल, थोड़ा दुनिया से हटकर चल, लीक पर तो सभी चल लेते हैं, कभी इतिहास को पलट कर चल, मिलेगा तेरी मेहनत का फल, किसी और का ना इंतज़ार कर, कुछ करना है तो डटकर चल, थोड़ा दुनिया से हटकर चल। थैंक यू। जय हिंद।
मित्रों, आज देश ही नहीं वरन संपूर्ण विश्व एक भयंकर त्रासदी से गुजर रहा है। ऐसी स्थिति में सभी प्रकार के कार्य बुरी तरह से प्रभावित हुए हैं, फिर चाहे वो सरकारी कार्य हो अथवा गैर सरकारी कार्य। हमारे विभाग का एक महत्वपूर्ण कार्य अपने अधिकारियों व कर्मचारियों के लिए प्रशिक्षण की उचित व्यवस्था करना है, जिससे हम अपने निर्धारित कार्य को सुव्यवस्थित, दक्षता एवं गुणवत्तापूर्ण ढंग से संचालित कर सकें। वर्तमान विश्व त्रासदी को देखते हुए आज सभी जगह सामाजिक दूरी एक अनिवार्यता हो गई है, जिससे कि हम स्वयं को तथा अपने आसपास के लोगों को संक्रमित होने से रोक सकें। इसी को दृष्टिगत रखते हुए यह सोचा गया है कि हम प्रशिक्षण में ई लर्निंग माध्यम को अपनाकर अपने अधिकारियों व कर्मचारियों को ऐसे किसी जोखिम से बचाते हुए दूरस्थ प्रशिक्षण के माध्यम से प्रशिक्षित कर सकें। रक्षा लेखा महानियंत्रक महोदय के मार्गदर्शन में ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल इसी सोच का परिणाम है और इसमें हमने उन महत्वपूर्ण विषयों को समाहित किया है जो सामान्यतया कमांड पीसीडीए सीडीए के लिए अति आवश्यक हैं। हमारे अधिकारियों और कर्मचारियों ने पूरा प्रयास किया है कि गुणवत्ता पूरी तरह से बनी रहे तथा वर्तमान नियमों अधिनियमों को भी सम्मिलित करने का प्रयास किया गया है। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि यह मॉड्यूल हमारे लोगों को समुचित प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करने में सार्थक होगा, जिससे वे अपने कार्यों को कुशलता व दक्षतापूर्वक संपादित कर सकेंगे। धन्यवाद।
सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो, सर्वप्रिय हो, कार्य करें सर्वोत्तम, यही हमारा मूल मंत्र हो, यही हमारा लक्ष्य परम। सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो, सर्वप्रिय हो, कार्य करें सर्वोत्तम, एक दूजे पर गर्व करें हम, एक दूजे पर गर्व करें हम, गर्व न हो शीश हमारा, संकट में संबल बने हम, मानवता का ले आशीष, मानवता का ले आशीष। सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो, सर्वप्रिय हो, कार्य करें सर्वोत्तम, यही हमारा मूल मंत्र हो, यही हमारा लक्ष्य परम। सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो, सर्वप्रिय हो, कार्य करें सर्वोत्तम, यही हमारा मूल मंत्र हो, यही हमारा लक्ष्य परम।
Namaskar, I am Deen Dayal Sakhi.
Namaskar, I am Dr. Priyanka Bhamu. Today we will discuss about various aspects and dimensions related to the working of stores contract section, which is one of the most important section in regional CDA system. First of all, we will discuss about the objectives of the store contract section as given in para 496 of Office Manual Part 2. The first objective is to make prompt payment for supplies and services rendered by the contractors. Second is payment of cash requisitions to supply and services imprest holders and adjustment of S&S imprest account summary. Next objective is the post audit of bills in respect of 100% payments made by the units. And last objective is to audit of sanctions issued by the lower CFAs, which is other than Government of India.
Now let's discuss the major duties of store contact section, which are mentioned in para 497 to para 535 of Office Manual Part 2. First duty is to audit and payment of the local purchases bill and civil hire transport bills in respect of all the units formation under the audit jurisdiction of regional CDA. Second duty is to payment of cash requisition to supply and service imprest holders and monthly adjustment of S&S imprest account summary. Third duty is to scrutinize of contact agreements of Army Service Corps item and civil hire transport. The next duty is to deal with all work connected with receipt and refund of security deposits of contractors. The next duty is to payment of ration money claims of service officer. Now we will discuss about audit of bills. Here we can divide the audit of bills in two parts. First is pre-audit and second is post-audit. Pre-audit is an examination of documents supporting a transaction or a series of transactions before they are paid for and recorded, while post-audit is the review of the bills after transaction or a series of transactions has already been recorded. The main advantage of pre-audit is that it can be identify any lapses and the same can be corrected before release of payment. In the post-audit, since the transaction has already been completed and payment already made to vendor, so the observations are communicated to the executives for regularization. Pre-audit of the bills include local purchases bills of ordnance, clothing, MT, medical stores and army commanders special financial powers bill, whereas post-audit covers 95% and 100% payment vouchers of ASC and CST. After doing post-audit of 95% PVs, remaining 5% payment is paid directly to vendor by store contact section.
Now we will discuss about the local purchase and analyze why it is required. All the units and formations are meet with their requirement as per authorized strength. They are dependent on central sources and mother depots for supply of stores. If supplies are not available from central sources, then local purchases are undertaken within the local purchases powers of various authorities as per the delegated financial power according to DFPDS 2016. Mainly, local purchases are carried out in two circumstances. First condition is to meet the short term or urgent requirement when supplies are not available through central sources or mother depot. And the second condition is to meet the normal requirement for stores which are not within the purview of central purchase organizations. All the bills of local purchases will be audited in the accordance with General Financial Rules 2017, Financial Regulation Part 1, Volume 1, Defense Audit Code, Defense Procurement Manual 2009, Delegation of Financial Powers to Defense Services 2016, and Army Services Corps Regulations. Now we will discuss the bill processing procedure in store contract section. First of all the bills are received, sorted and diarized in tulip system by the record section, and then our section send them to store contract section for further processing. In the store contract section, these bills are allotted to task holder by the WAO or AO. It will be ensure that all the bills will be audited on the FIFO basis. Here FIFO stands for first in first out. These bills will be audited with reference to relevant documents held in this office and documents enclosed with the bills. If the bills are found in order, the same can be passed and check slip punching medium of bills will be generated. After that, DP sheet will be generated through the tulip system of past bills. Bill entry is made in income tax register in which vendor wise details are noted. After that, these bills and DP sheets transmitted to D section for payment through SBI CMP. Here CMP stands for Cash Management Product. If the bills are not found in order, the same are returned to units or formations through system generated rejection memo for necessary clarification.
Now we will discuss about level jumping during passing of bills. Bills are passed as per delegation of financial powers delegated by the headquarter from time to time. Bills are passed as per level jumping method mentioned in CGDA letter dated 5 October 2011. Presently, there are three type of tier system for processing the bills store contact section. There are two type of two tier system. First two tier processing system includes bill which has value up to 50,000. These bills are processed by auditor senior and approved by AAO. Second two tier processing system include bills which has value above the financial power of AAO and up to 2 lakh. These bills are processed by auditor senior and directly put up to AO senior for final approval. Second type of tier system for processing the bills is three tier system, which includes bill of valuing above 2 lakh and up to 1 crore. These bills are processed by auditor senior and put up to AAO and further put up to AO senior AO for final approval. Third type of tier system for processing the bill is four tier system, which include bill of valuing above 1 crore. These bills are processed by auditor senior and further put up to AO senior AO and AO senior AO put up to group officer for final approval. Now we will discuss about checklist during pre-audit of local purchases bill. First, we will see that acceptance of necessity has been accorded by competent financial authority. Second, we will see that CFA sanction has been accorded with quoting proper code head. Next, we will see if concurrence of IFA has been taken, then proper unofficial number should be mentioned on sanction. Next is specimen signature of CFA should be matched with our records. Next, we will check all the supporting documents are enclosed. Next, we will ensure availability of funds in TULIP system. While processing a bill, we will ensure that sufficient funds are available in the particular code head. Funds allotted copy is received from executive authority in the account section, and after that account section updates the funds code head wise in the system. Next, we will check the correctness of vendor's bank detail, PAN, GST and other details, as these details are updated by internal audit section and we match it with the vendor's invoice. And the last, to avoid double payments, recurring charges will be linked with the previous charges. For this, an income tax register is being maintained in this section, in which all the payment details are entered, that is contingent bill number with date, supply order number, amount passed with date, etc. So before passing a bill, it will be cross-checked with the register.
While carrying out auditing of bill, the following supporting documents should be checked invariably. First of all, we will check original copy of the contingent bill, which is countersigned by the unit authority. The specimen signature on the contingent bill and CFA sanction must be verified from the TULIP system. After that, we will check the urgency certificate. This certificate certifies the urgency or necessity of the particular item which is being purchased, should be accorded by the CFA. Next document that should be checked is non-availability certificate from Mother Depot. It is issued by the mother depot declaring that the particular scaled items were not available at that time. Next is original copy of quotation and comparative statement must be enclosed. Quotation is a document sent by the suppliers to quote the specific price of items. Quotation also includes quantity, item specification, and validity. The comparative statement is a statement which shows the name of suppliers, the rates availed by suppliers, and the rate accepted. It should be signed by the board of officers. Next, we will see the original copy of supply order. Supply order means a written order to a selected supplier to deliver quantities within a specific period. Supply order should be placed with stipulating the conditions, namely LD charges, PBG, and arbitration clause. Here, LD charges stands for liquidated damages, means if a supplier fails to deliver the item within specific period as mentioned in supply order, a compensation of undelivered items will be recovered from the suppliers. Here PBG stands for performance bank guarantee. Next, we will see the sanction of CFA as per format of Appendix K of DPM 2009. Next, we will see that 2 copies of certified receipt voucher should be enclosed with the bill. CRV is a proof by buyer that stores has been received and accepted in accordance of the supply order and entry of stores made in ledgers. Next, we will see original tax invoice of vendors. In addition to this, some more enclosures should be seen whenever applicable, like amendments of supply order, extension for delivery period of stores, warranty or guarantee certificate. Finally, at the end of the each month, we will ensure that 1 copy of CRV of each past bill will be scheduled to concerned LAOs for credit verification, and acknowledgement of each CRV will be seen through scheduling register. In this slide, we will discuss about various general objections which are observed during pre-audit of bills. First one is splitting of financial powers by CFA. Sometimes it is found that sanction for amount is split into 2 or 3 parts to avoid the sanction from the higher authority, then should be pointed out during audit. Second is sanction of CFA has not been attached as per format of Appendix K of DPM 2009. Third is supply order has not been placed as per prescribed format of DPM 2009. Next general objection is certificate as per GFR 154 not found enclosed. This rule says that if goods are purchased without calling quotation up to the value of rupees 25,000 on each occasion, then CFA will attach a certificate that says he is personally satisfied that the purchased goods are in the required quantity and specification and have been purchased from a reliable supplier at a reasonable price. Next observation is funds are not available in code heads. And next is liquidated damages have not been deducted in the cases where supplies were delayed. Next is bank mandate of supplier not found attached with the bill. And the next observation is sometimes it is found that the supply order has been issued before obtaining the CFA sanction. In continuation to the previous slide, next observation is non-availability certificate of mother depot is not enclosed. Then specific reason is not mentioned for purchases which are not carried out through JAM or government e-marketplace. If the items are available on JAM, then it is mandatory to purchase through it. And if items are not purchased through JAM, then specific reasons must be stated with screenshot of non-availability on JAM portal. Next observation is dated initial of board of officers are not found on quotations and comparative statement. Then next observation is certificate of market surveys not found attached with the bills. And last observation is 2 copy of CRV not found attached with bills.
Supply and service impressed account and post audit of bill. First we will discuss what is S&S impressed account. The supply and service impressed is a cash account to pay for routine expenses for purchase of fresh vegetables, fruits, milk and other items. Funds contained impressed are regularly recouped in order to maintain a balance. The term impressed can also refer to monetary advance given to a unit for a specific purpose. Store contact section deals only impressed account of ASC and CST providing units. S&S impressed account is being opened by store contact section of the regional CDA. After that, account number is provided to unit and a cash requisition book of 25 leaf is provided. Amount drawn in advance by unit through cash requisition from regional CDA and advance made will be debited or booked to suspense account code 2080 initially by store contact section. After drawing amount in advance from regional CDA, units have to submit an account summary of expenditure on monthly basis along with paid voucher to concerned regional CDA. Then store contact section adjust expenditure in particular heads through tulip system to clear the suspense head. The closing balances at the end of each month will be carried forward to next month. Final closing balances at the end of the financial year, that is 31st March, will be deposited through MRO by unit. In S&S summary, two type of vouchers are received, which are 100% paid voucher and 95% paid vouchers. The 100% paid voucher means that 100% payment has been made by unit. 95% paid voucher means that the 95% payment has been made by unit. The store contact section will do payment of remaining 5% payment directly to vendor after doing post audit of 95% paid voucher. Now we will discuss about the post audit of ASC bills. Following points should be checked during post audit of ASC bills. First of all, rates of ASC items should be checked with respect to contract agreement already held with section. Form IAFS 1520 should be enclosed in prescribed format of ASC item supplies. Form IAFS 1520 is a receipt of articles supplied by contractor which contains information like date, quantity supplied, rates of item and its abstract. Next, we will see that the stamp of the issuing depot has been affixed on supply orders and IAFS 1520 and it has been signed by officer commanding of the supply depot on the top. Next, we will see that total quantity of various articles shown in IAFS 1520 agree with the total given on respective abstract and that no alteration or interpolation exists in abstract. Continuing from the previous slide, we will also check that the abstract portion of IAFS 1520 it endorsed with the word paired under the date initials of auditor passing the bill. Next, we will also check that the date of issue of IAFS 1520 indicated at the top of it is in advance of the commencement of daily supplies. Next, we will check that IAFS 1520 bears the serial number and it has been signed both by the officer receiving the stores and the supplier. Next, we will ensure that arithmetical calculations are correct and that the totals are expressed in words as well as figures. Finally, we will make payment of 5% bill after post audit. The received voucher of CRV in support of bill will be scheduled to allege concern for verification of credit of items in the ledger of unit formation.
After discussing post audit of ASC bills, now we will discuss about the post audit of CHT bills. First of all, what is CHT bill and why it is required? Here, CHT stands for Civil Hired Transport. CHT is required in emergency situation or to meet the normal requirement of vehicle which cannot be fulfilled by the unit and formation vehicles. CHT can only be hired from the contractor to whom CHT contract already been concluded. All the CHT contracts are concluded by command and corps headquarter level. After hiring, CHT bills are received in the store contract section for payment. While auditing civil hire transport bills, the following points should be checked. First is the rate of CHT should be checked with the respect of contract agreement already held with section. Next, the indent which is known as IAFZ 2150 is marked original and bears the indent register number of the station transport officer. The indent have 5 parts which are completed in all respects and all alterations are duly attested. Next, the extent of services rendered in Part 3 conforms to that indent 4 in Part 1 and allotted by Station Transport Officer in Part 2. In continuation to the previous slide, the bills are countersigned by the station transport officer. The next point that has to be observed that the officer to whom the stores were consigned or any other person authorized by him has recorded a certificate on the requisition that the transport requisition was actually supplied. Next is the bills for hired transport supplied to the MES are verified by the garrison engineer. Next point is the numbers and date of receipt and issued vouchers under which the stores are received have been entered in Part 3 of Transport Indent and Duty Slip by Unit using hired transport. Next is the services have been rendered under the correct clause of contract deed. Next, the rate adopted in Part 5 of the transport indent should be correct. And the last one is the distance for which the kilometer rate is claimed should be correct with reference to the distance given in polymetrical table or supporting certificate.
Contracts. First of all, we should know that what is contract. A contract is a legally binding agreement that recognizes and governs the rights and duties of the parties of agreement. A contract is legally enforceable because it meets the requirements and approval of the law. An agreement typically involves the exchange of goods, services, money and promises of any of these. Two types of contracts are received in store contract section for scrutiny. The first is ASC contracts. ASC contract item which are concluded for fresh vegetables, fruits, meat, chicken, egg, POG, potato, onion, garlic and milk, atta and other items. Second is CST contract which includes hiring of light vehicles, heavy vehicles and special vehicles. Now we will discuss about the scrutiny of ASC and CST contract. Firstly, 2 copies of each contract agreement are received by store contract section from executive authority for scrutiny of contract with a view to enable the PCDA CDA to offer financial input. 1 copy of contract agreement returned to command or corps headquarters level after scrutiny. Following audit checks are carried out to scrutinize the document. For better understanding, we can divide audit check in 2 parts, general checks and special check.
First, we will discuss about general check. While carrying out scrutiny of contracts, following general check points have to be observed. First one is the lowest tender, that is called as L1, has been accepted as a rule. But as an exception, higher tender, that is L2 or L3, has been accepted, then adequate reasons should be recorded. In case of contract for which tenders were pre-scrutinized by the IFA, rates recommended for acceptance have only been adopted and if the remarks or recommendations of the IFA have been overlooked, valid reasons thereof are recorded in the comparative statement of tenders under the signature of the sanctioning authority. Next is has to be observed that while calling for tenders, due publicity is given. Next, the authority sanctioning the contract is competent to sanction. And next is the terms of contract should be precise, clear, and definite, and there is no chance of any ambiguity and misconception. Next is any change has been accorded in the terms of contracts, then that should be in the accordance with the approval of the competent financial authority. Now, in continuation to the previous slide, next point which will be checked, the standard forms of contract have been adopted. There are no apparent irregularities or special features which would involve legal consultation. Next, adequate provision has been made in the contract for safeguarding government property, and contracts contain a suitable provision regarding their termination. Next is time limits and the radius within which the contract will be enforced should be clearly defined. Next point is the place where articles are going to be delivered should be specified in the contract, and the specimen signature of the contractor or his attorney should be received and recorded with duplicate copy of contract. The contract has not been made by or on behalf of a minor. ASC contracts specify the types of fresh fruit or fresh vegetables to be supplied, and different rates of vegetables and fruits has been specified in the contract agreements. These contracts show particular varieties of fruits and vegetables in all seasons and the approximate quantities which are required to be supplied by months, and for that the operating officers insist to make supplies accordingly. Now, this part deals with special check. After general check, the following special check will be carried out as a measure security against the fraudulent altercations. In special check, the first point which is being checked, that the contract agreement should be prepared in the same handwriting and same ink throughout. All the blank spaces are either filled in or a line is drawn through such spaces, so chances of any alteration will not be there. Next is there should not be any erasures or overwriting. If there is any alteration, then it must have been attested by both the parties.
Now moving to the last topic, that is security deposit. First of all, we will discuss about what is the security deposit. Once it is decided that contract is awarded to the bidder, he has to deposit a certain amount with the buyers, such that if he does not complete the task as per supply order, then the buyer can recover the loss by forfeited his certain amount. This certain deposited amount is called a security deposit. All the security deposit received from executive authority with contract documents, and these security deposit on receipt will be recorded in the security deposit register. Security deposit register will be maintained in two parts, one for security deposit tendered in cash and the other for all other security deposit. All transactions must be noted at the time of their occurrence, and the receipt on IAFA 299 granted to the depositor. Transaction on account of security deposit tendered in cash and refund of these will be entered in cash security deposit register. Physical verification of securities will be conducted annually in the month of April, as well as at the time of transfer of officer in charge of section, and the result of such verification will be endorsed in the register of securities. At the closing of each financial year, all cash security deposit remain unclaimed for 3 years will be transferred to the credit into the government account. Now we will discuss about various forms of the security deposits, that mean in which form the contractor can deposit the amount of security deposit to the buyer. So the first one is deposit receipt or FDR of banks. The next is government promissory notes and municipal debenture. The next is treasury saving deposit certificates. Another forms of security deposit is post office cash certificate, national saving certificates and defense saving certificates. And the last is other forms of security especially approved by the government for acceptance in particular department, that is mortgages on real property, personal security, etc. Now we will discuss the condition and procedure to release the security deposits. The security deposit will be released on the expiry on the contract and after fulfilling all contract obligations. Security deposit may be released to the contractor by producing following requirements and documents. First is application of vendor for refund of security deposit. Second is no demand or no claim certificate of ASC unit. The third is submitting risk and expense purchase certificate. Fourth is no claim certificate of contractor and certificate from the contractor that no payment are pending against contract. And the last is receipt of amount received given by the contractor. These documents will receive through command or core headquarter only.
Before concluding the lecture, we will quickly revise major aspects of this presentation that we have discussed today. We have started this lecture explaining objectives and duties of the store contract section, which is followed by the auditing and passing of the bills related to ASC and CHT, while keeping in mind the various checks as mentioned in Government of India rules and regulations.
We have also discussed about S&S imprest and security deposit. We have seen in various slides that how the contracts are concluded and what are the major points should be checked while scrutinize these contracts. In brief, this lecture intended to throw a light on the major working of store contract section. Thank you.
दैवम विनति प्रयत्नं करोति यत् विफलम, अर्थात सुनियोजित कार्य के परिणाम उत्तम होते हैं